All right, settle in, grab your favorite beverage, because today we're diving deep into the real story behind a Disney classic. Hey everyone, Fit Historian here, and welcome back to Historically Gaming. Now, you all know I love a good game steeped in history, but I've been thinking, what about the stories we grew up with? The fairy tales. So I'm kicking off a brand new series where we're putting our historian hats on and digging into the real history lurking beneath the magic of Disney princesses. And where better to start than with the one and only Cinderella? I mean, think about it. Glass slippers, a fairy godmother poofing up a pumpkin carriage, a dreamy prince. It's pure enchantment. We all know the Disney version, right? The sweet girl, constantly put upon by her wicked stepmother and stepsisters, dreams of going to the ball, then bam! Fairy godmother, sparkly gown, lost slipper, and happily ever after. Maybe you even remember the live-action version with Lily James. Same core story, just a bit more live-action-y. But here's where it gets interesting, my friends. Cinderella isn't just a product of Disney magic. Believe it or not, versions of her story go way, way back. We're talking about a tale as old as time. Well, almost. Let's hop into our time machine, shall we? Our first stop, ancient Egypt, or at least a Greek retelling of an Egyptian story by the historian Strabo. Picture this. A Greek girl named Rhodopis. One day, while she's bathing, an eagle swoops down and snatches one of her sandals, carrying it all the way to the pharaoh. Intrigued by the tiny, elegant shoe, the pharaoh searches for its owner and, you guessed it, finds Rhodopis and makes her his queen. Sound familiar? No glass slipper or fairy godmother, but the core elements of a lost shoe and a royal connection are definitely there. Fast forward a few centuries to medieval Europe, and we see the Cinderella story evolving. In 1697, the French writer Charles Perrault gave us a version that feels much closer to the Disney one we know and love. He's the one who gifted us the glass slipper, which, let's take a second. Can you imagine wearing a glass shoe? How uncomfortable would that be? And he also gave us the iconic fairy godmother. But hold on, because things take a darker turn when we get to the Brothers Grimm in 1812. Their version? Let's just say it's not exactly bibbidi-bobbidi-boo. There's no fairy godmother here. Instead, Cinderella gets help from birds, and, spoiler alert, the stepsisters get some pretty gruesome karma involving, pigeons pecking out their eyes. Oh boy. Yeah, not quite the Disney ending. And the Cinderella story isn't just a Western phenomenon. We see variations popping up all over the globe. There's Ye Xian in 9th century China, a Tang Dynasty tale featuring a magical fish and a golden slipper. You can find similar folktales in the Middle East and other cultures too, all with their own unique twists and turns, but that central idea of a mistreated girl and a stroke of unexpected good fortune remains. Now, let's put our historical thinking caps on for a moment. Why has this story resonated across so many cultures and time periods? A big part of it, I think, is the fantasy of social mobility. Think about it. For centuries, social class was pretty rigid. The idea that someone from the bottom could rise to the top, especially through marriage, was a powerful and appealing one. These stories also reflect the roles of women in different societies. Marriage was often the primary path to social advancement and security for women. And let's be honest, in many of these older versions, Cinderella isn't exactly an active heroine. She's often portrayed as passive, relying on external forces, be it a pharaoh, a prince, or a magical being, to rescue her. This unfortunately mirrors the limited agency women often had historically. So, was Cinderella empowering? In the historical context, maybe as a fantasy of a better life, but it also reinforces some pretty traditional ideas about femininity. So, what did Disney do with all of this rich history? Well, they definitely put their own spin on it, didn't they? They took the core elements, the mistreatment, the ball, the lost slipper, and sanitized it for a family audience. Gone are the gruesome bits, thank God, replaced with adorable mice and a catchy soundtrack. Visually, the 1950s Disney film is a total product of its time. Think about Cinderella's elegant ball gown and the overall aesthetic. It screams post-World War II ideals of domesticity and feminine grace. Disney crafted a heroine who fit those ideals, perhaps moving away from some of the more resilient or even cunning Cinderellas found in earlier tales. They commercialized the magic, creating a timeless story that continues to capture imaginations. So, what's the takeaway here? Cinderella, while seemingly pure fantasy, has deep roots in history and reflects enduring human desires for social mobility and a little bit of magic in a sometimes harsh world. The various versions of her story offer us a fascinating glimpse into different cultures and their roles of women throughout history. Disney took this ancient archetype and polished it for a more modern audience, creating the iconic princess we know today. Now for the big question. Which Disney princess should we delve into next? Should we explore the possible historical inspirations behind the strong-willed Belle? Maybe the mermaid myths that could have inspired Ariel? Or perhaps the real-life warrior women who might have influenced Mulan's story? Let me know in the comments below. Your votes will decide our next historical deep dive. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Historically Gaming. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more historical explorations. Until next time, keep those historical curiosities burning. Bye!